Hello, everyone, and welcome to the YouTube channel of Get Set Law by IMS. I'm your verbal ability mentor, Sanjana ma'am, and let's take a look at the CUET PG 3-year LLB examination analysis for 2026. Now, keep in mind that I had gone for shift 3 of the paper, which was conducted from 4 to 5:30 p.m. on the 8th of March, and the paper was quite a surprise this time around. So, let's dive into it right now. Okay, so as we know, total number of questions asked was 75. This is just a general paper overview, right? The level of difficulty this time around, I would label it as moderate. I will not call it difficult. A lot of people think it was difficult also. For a lot, it was moderate to difficult. But according to me, it was moderate because if you had taken your learnings from the 2025 paper, you should not find it very difficult to solve. Okay. And obviously, in subsequent course, I will also discuss a good number of attempts, right? And the sections that were asked, and this is how it was previously also in 2025, which is we had English, we had logical reasoning, and a lot of logical reasoning this time around. Quantitative aptitude, a lot of topics, a very good mix of topics in math. GK, which wasn't a lot, right? And then they had computer basics. And the questions from computer basics in this year, they were more than the questions that were asked previously. Okay, let's take a look at the English section analysis. Overall, English, if you talk to me about it, it was on the easier side. There were some vocabulary questions. So, all that I have mentioned here on the screen are the things that I remember from the question paper, right? And mostly they were the questions that were asked also. So for vocabulary, we had a lot of synonym questions or, finding out the meaning of words. So we had a word panacea, and the solution for it was that it's a one cure, one solution for everything. Right. And then we had intimidating, and the options were, and you might have felt confused between two options, either friendly or non serious. Right. And then we had one idiom. Okay. And last year around also it was just one idiom only as far as I remember. So this time it was to flog a dead horse. Then we also had one word substitution, but the focus was more on, let's just say, science, biopsy, the process of taking cells from a deceased part or a dead part, right, or a dead body. So that was on biopsy. And then we have to match the following questions also. If you remember, for the ones who are watching this analysis, there was a word gallant and you had to match it with chivalrous, right? So match the following two questions. One was based on synonyms, right? So match the words with their, concurrent meanings. And then one was based on antonym. And then we had a reading comprehension passage. Only one reading comprehension passage was there, which is what might have made the paper lengthy on the whole. Otherwise, also compared to CUET PG 2025, this paper was really lengthy comparatively. Okay, so this passage was based on Graham Bell and the invention of telephone. 5 questions, very easy questions, except for one question, which I felt you'd really have to draw inferences in order to answer it properly. Otherwise, the rest or the remainder 4 questions were on the easier side. They were simple questions, easy questions. And surprisingly, no grammar was asked. If you take a look at the last year question paper, we had so many questions. Questions in grammar abounded. This time, no grammar was included, right? So, all in all, it was just you knowing the meaning of terms, right? However, English I felt was easy, and I hope everybody was able to solve the passage based questions also correctly. 5 questions direct, 5 marks you can directly get from there. 5 into 4, that's it, right? Okay, now we'll come to the section which occupied the maximum weightage in the entire paper, logical reasoning. And this time we had such a diverse mix of questions in logical reasoning. So many assertion reason questions. If you remember last year, we also had a question on strong argument, weak argument. But this time there was no course of action, no nothing. Only assertion reason questions, right? And not easy ones. You really need to have some predetermined knowledge of things in order to be able to solve the assertion reason questions properly. I'll tell you why. If you remember, there was one question based on the application of SICI, which is simple interest, compound interest formula. That one assertion reason question was based on calculating the population, right? Something like that. So very important again, right? So assertion reason questions 5 to 6, it could be 7 also. Coding, decoding, I think there were 3 questions based on it. Okay. Some, they were not very easy, But let's just say if you've practiced it well enough, knowing that it gets heavily asked in CUET, then you would have found it quite on the easier side. We had one question on blood relations, right, which was in the form of symbols. Some symbols were given to denote specific relationships, and then you had to decode the final relation between two members, right? And then we had this number series, which I quite clearly remember, right? So you had to figure out the next best term here. Then we also had ratio based arrangement. If you remember, we had two questions on it, right? There were A, B, C, D, E, and a certain fraction formula was given, like 1 out of 3, 5 out of 4, 5 out of 17, something like that. And then you had to arrange them in descending order, ascending order. So a combination of both math and, arrangements in general. And then we had a sequence arrangement also, right? So you had certain terms which you had to arrange in a given order, right? And similarly, you also had a question on arrangement in a line that we had close to 33 people, and we had friends such as P, Q, R, S, T, and their position with respect to one another was given. And then you had to determine the position of one person from the extreme west end, right? So that is what was given. And now we'll take a look at quantitative aptitude. Very important. I think if you really practice math well enough, you can easily do well in the paper. You could have easily done well in the paper. There was a question on averages. If you remember that question which talked about, computing the salary, the average salary or monthly salary of an individual, that was a no-brainer. That was simple. If you know how to solve averages, ratio, and percentage properly, even profit and loss comes in handy. One question on profit and loss was as well there, right? Which was based on that the profit earned was an equivalent of the cost price of 4 bats, when in total there were 20 bats that had been sold, right? So what is the profit percentage? Uh, for the ones who are really good at the topic, you can easily score a 4 marks here. Simple interest, compound interest, I've already mentioned, right? So it wasn't like a direct question. So I'll tell you what, this entire paper, the questions weren't asked directly. It was like a combination of two sections, like 2, 3 sections are merged in one, which is what made the paper sort of confusing also, which is why people say that, ma'am, it just took me a lot of time to solve it. We had a question on time, speed, and distance also, on trains particularly, right? Through trains or buses, right? And you had to calculate the relevant speed. Then we had questions on circles and triangles in the form of identifying the correct statements. So 4, 5 statements were given, and you had to identify which of the statements are correct. It was about obtuse angle, it was about reflex angle, right? Etc. etc. So circles, there was a question on calculating the radius or something like that, right? So geometry was asked as well. And then we had a question on mensuration, which is calculating the length of a pipe, the volume, right? So QT also, when we talk about quantitative aptitude, a very good mix of questions was there. I would label this on the moderate side, just in case anybody who felt that they don't have to solve quants and they'll be able to do well. QT was there, it abounded in the paper, and this would help you score more marks. At least this is what I believe. Okay, now we'll come to GK Polity Current Affairs, which, in all honesty, it wasn't asked heavily in the paper. I remember there was a question on fundamental duty, which was with respect to developing scientific temper. Article 15 of the Constitution, a question was asked. An easy question. Indian freedom movement. Now, there were a lot of sequence-based questions also. So, the Jallianwala Bagh massacre, right? The Quit India movement, etc. So, all of these you had to arrange in the correct order, right? In the correct order of the dates of occurrence of these events. So Indian freedom movement was asked indirectly, right? And then you had to match authors with books written by them. A lot of, let me write down, assertion reason. And this is not with just respect to GK polity current affairs, but I'll just write down the kinds of questions that were asked heavily. Match the following, right? And identify the correct statements, right? And thereby the correct option. Now, in these 3 categories, all these sections have been asked. Match authors with books written by them. So India discovers freedom. My experiment with truth. I'm just trying to give you some, reminder of the kinds of questions that were asked. Okay. And then furthermore, we had a question on NEP. We had to mention the full form of this scheme here, matching famous personalities with the respective field of work also. Bertrand Russell was mentioned, for example, right? This is what I remember. Charles Darwin was mentioned. So you need to have a good hand on GK polity current affairs also, at least the basics of it, right? So this is also which was not surprising, but it was not very easy also, right? So sort of it means that you had to be good in almost every section that is likely to be asked. And then this time around, computer basics. Last year I remember there were 4 to 5 questions asked. This time they were close to 6 7 questions. Full form of URL. Identify the correct statements. Web browser was given. So Firefox was mentioned. Opera wasn't correct, right? You had Safari also, right? So many statements were given, and you had to identify the correct statements. Then match the following. So one was based on router, another had a translator, repeater, interpreter, shortcut key in MS Word for cut, undo, redo, one assertion reason on ROM, and maybe 1 2 more questions were there. One was on, again arranging, the terms based on, let's just say, decreasing order of price or costing. So we started with supercomputers, right? Until the end, we had microcomputers, if you remember, right? So a lot of computer basics questions were also asked. So this is primarily all that has been asked. Overall, the level of difficulty, I would say, was moderate. And now we come to the most important question, I know, which is what would be a good attempt. Now, as far as my analysis goes, and through what I did hear from the other students who attended the exam, some of them, just like a very small number, were able to, or let's just say they managed attempting 65 or above. I didn't really hear anybody say that he or she attempted 70. But on an average, everybody was able to attempt at least 50 questions, right? Or let's just say at least 55 questions. Now, a good score, however, would be, and a score on the safer side, it would be above 210, because we still do not know how many students are there who might have scored above 300 also, right? Because you have to account for the negative marking, right? So ensure that your accuracy remains intact, right? So let's just say if you get close to 50 to 55 questions right, you should be safe for a chance at DO CLC, right? So good attempt would be, let's just say, 50 to 55 questions, provided the accuracy remains intact. What if you had attempted 50 questions and however your correct attempts would be just 40, right? So even if you attempt 65, I hope that you get 50 to 55 correct. Or if you attempt 50 to 55, ensure that you get all correct at least, right? Or even if it's in the range of 51 to 52, it should sound like a good picture for you, right? So that's it, guys. Hope you found the analysis helpful. If you happen to remember more questions that were asked in the exam, you're free to, include it in the comment section. Thank you so much, everyone. Have a great day.